Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Vermont has an extensive list of state symbols and emblems. For instance, the state animal is the Morgan horse, the state bird is the hermit thrush, and the state flower is the red clover. But less well known is the state gem. It's a garnet. And talc is the state mineral. We'll be learning about gems, minerals, and even fossils this afternoon as we meet two members of the Burlington Gem and Mineral Club. Joining me are John Wilda and Warren Ellison. Their club activities include field trips to collection sites and the upcoming 40th annual Gem and Mineral Show, which takes place this weekend at the Champlain Valley Expo. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
This is going to be a very interesting discussion. So, John, just start us off about a little background, the Gem and Mineral Club. How long has it been in existence and what's it all about?
Well, the Gem and Mineral Club has been in existence since 1967, I believe. Wow. We have approximately 160 members of many different ages. There's no age restrictions or anything like that. Many of the counties in Vermont are represented by the club, and some people are from out of state and belong to the club.
Okay, awesome. And you meet, like, this is a regular, you meet monthly or something?
Yes, we meet once a month. One of the big things about membership is the meeting aspect of it, because we have guest speakers. We also have club members give talks on different things like tools needed for collecting, identification of minerals, and things like that.
Okay, awesome. And so Warren, what's the benefit of having a club rather than just going out and finding minerals and rocks?
Well, primarily, many people find that the association with so many knowledgeable people in the field really helps out trying to learn things. It's a rather subtle art to go and collect minerals and learn about them. Not everybody knows, but within the club we have a huge amount of collective knowledge. There are professional geologists, there are people with years and years of mineral experience collecting, there's people who know how to cut stones and polish stones. If you need to learn things, everybody's happy to share what they know and get you on your way.
And even though you're a violin maker, you're also a geologist. So
I do many things. I do many things.
Well, and actually, John, I don't know if we can't see this that well, but even tell us about this gem, and because you knew somebody in the club, it became this beautiful stone.
The pink gemstone is called Tourmaline. It's an elbaite tourmaline, which I found in California, and I actually found other pieces, and one of which was faceted by one of the club members into a gemstone. Right. And to me, that's one of the big advantages of club membership, is that you get to learn who the experts are in faceting, lapidary, identification, and things like that.
Right. Awesome. And it sounds like there are other clubs regionally. Do you interact with them?
We do. I belong to 3 different clubs. Many of the other members belong to other clubs. The advantages of that, I think, would be in the networking aspect, where you get to learn the expertise of other people that live in other areas. For instance, I belong to the Montreal Gem and Mineral Club. So when it comes to identification of gems and minerals found in Canada, I know who the experts are to go to, and that helps a lot. Also, we learn about mines that may have recently reopened or something like that, so we can plan trips for our club to go to these locations.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit, Warren, about traveling to different places. So why is that important? How are, even in this fairly small region, there are all different types of rocks and different things to see in different places?
There are, and our club allows us to get into many places that wouldn't be available to the public. But within Vermont itself and the whole general area, there were many different mountain building events that took place over the last hundreds of millions of years here. And as you go from one side of New England to the other side of New England, you can see rocks that are from 1 billion years old over on the Adirondack side, all the way to very modern things from the Ice Age times just a couple thousand years ago right here in Vermont. And in between, boy, there's pegmatite zones and volcanic activity, and there's a lot of things that you can find different mines all over.
So when you say mountain building or rock building, this is what happened, 1,000 years ago, this is what was going on, and 1 billion years ago.
Yeah, exactly. A long time ago, Vermont wasn't really here as we know it. what we think of as Vermont was added on to the continent, you know, 500 million years ago, essentially. And during the mountain building events that took place, it deformed all the rocks that we see presently as the Green Mountains or the White Mountains or the Adirondacks. And, you know, we have the remains of all that stuff to look through and try to find things.
So why don't you brought in a picture of Sharon Vermont. What's special about what we're seeing here? It looks like there's a big mountain face.
If you, very often when you see things, you have to poke through. There's a lot of rubble on top of everything that we see, and as you dig below a little bit, if you go with people who know where to look for, you can find all sorts of fun things.
So what is this? A concretation or something like that? What is it called?
Oh, that's a concretion.
Concretion?
It's a concretion. These are little geometric types of forms of rocks that were mostly formed around organic material that were buried in the Ice Age times here as water percolated through and made fancy, almost like drip castle type forms. But they're all hard stone now and they're easily to collect.
And that was collected in Sharon?
That was collected right in Sharon, Vermont, yes.
Wow. And so John, this is interesting. Let's look at some more. So there's some other pictures from a hatch quarry in Panton. Here you all are collecting. There's Warren. So what are you looking for here?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, but in Panton, Vermont, we mostly find fossils. It's a wonderful fossil location. We find things from the Ordovician times, about 400 million years ago, and we find fossil coral, and we find fossil shells, and we find sea lilies, some trilobites sometimes, and things that were around in the world back then.
I think we have a fossil down here. Let's put it on this piece of paper. So at first it just kind of, this is a little bit dull looking, but it's got a pattern on it.
It's a head of coral.
Let's see the next one, because I think, Warren, you've polished this. This is really the same thing.
Exactly. I find a piece of coral out in the Panton limestone, and after you polish it up, all the weathered surface of it basically comes off, and it looks nice and smooth, and it's a very attractive black stone, and it looks like a head of coral. So
yes.
But it is many, many millions of years old. But it tells us a lot about what, you know, the environment of where Vermont was at that time. We were in a place where you can have heads of coral. We were much closer to the equator, and it was much warmer, and we were underwater.
And we were underwater.
Yeah, most notably, yes. We weren't just sitting here in Burlington, Vermont. There's
the Palermo Mine in New Hampshire. What is special about that mine?
Palermo years ago was mined primarily for mica, which is used in windows for furnaces and things like that. But over the years, other things have been found there, including lots of phosphate minerals, gemstones, and things like that.
Look at that. That's gorgeous. So you would, again, I see this kind of rock face that, and then you find these extraordinary rocks.
And it involves a lot of digging sometimes, and sometimes breaking rocks open. But oftentimes, larger crystals will be found in Palermo, where in other locations they may be microscopic.
Now, another thing that's kind of amazing is some club members have struck gold.
Absolutely. The club does go on gold panning trips. We go usually once a year. Very seldom have I ever gone where I haven't found at least a flake or two. But you need to know where to go, and that's the advantage of club membership. You learn about who the experts are, where they have been, where they have found things, and where they haven't found things. So there's a lot of benefits to joining the club and getting to know the areas of expertise of the various members.
Right, and so you have your little vial, which we saw close up, but you know, that's from Vermont, gold from Vermont. Well, that's really something. So the Gem and Mineral Show, they do things besides just collecting. There's also an education component. Can you tell me about some of these other things?
Well, the club does a number of things besides just having field trips. We meet once a month at University of Vermont. We have auctions once a year that we dispose of. We trade and swap all of our minerals that we've collected, and we show. We give away a scholarship to undergraduate or graduate students who are trying to do geological research in Vermont. What other good
Great.
things do we do?
Well, this weekend, we'll
we
have to
put
move
on a
along.
show.
You put on a
And
show.
we
It's
put
the
on a show
40th
once a year.
annual show that you'll have, which is now at the Champlain Valley Expo. It's been in South Burlington
For many years.
for many, many, many years. So everybody just be aware, it's at the Champlain Valley Expo in Essex Junction. It's July 27th and 28th. It's a fabulous show. I've been going for quite a while checking this out. You can also go to burlingtongemandmineralclub.org to find out more information. There it is, the Burlington Gem and Mineral Club.org. That's great. 985-1039 for more information. So you can go there and go to this wonderful show. It's always beautiful. There's everything from jewelry to raw stone to minerals and gems. It's really spectacular. And you have a couple of field trips planned for all over the place.
Yes,
Quebec
we
to
still
New
have
York.
some trips planned for the remainder of the year to various places in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Quebec. We'll be looking for different minerals in different locations because a lot of things are not found in Vermont, so we need to travel around to look at other locations and see what we can find.
Right, and from Herkimer diamonds to this, which was found in Ethan Allen's day.
That's a mineral called galena.
Yeah.
It has lead in it. And it was found in Loudville, Massachusetts, which is a location that was mined in the 1700s by Ethan Allen.
Okay. Thank you, John. Sorry. So interesting. Good luck with your 40th anniversary show at the fairgrounds. John Wilda,
Thank you.
Warren Ellison, thank you so much for coming in. And thank you for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard.